It's the Riot.
What you doing?
Just hanging,
Well, welcome to our last podcast for a few days because we'll be returning on Tuesday next week, but we are taking Monday off.
Yeah, we are.
So
Come
no podcast
on.
then. So enjoy this podcast for your extra long weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we kind of talked this yesterday, but you're not really doing anything this weekend, are you?
I don't think so. I still have some, like house things I want to do, a couple projects.
I do have two repairs on the docket that I'm going to take care of, and then I don't know.
I was thinking maybe a Saturday night I'll start a show. I always start shows late at night.
Do you?
I'll find something to watch or a movie.
I'm probably going to watch. Well, I got that Blues Brothers 4K thing. I'll probably watch that, and then I got a few options. Like I was thinking about Hobbs and Shaw. I still haven't seen that. I was thinking about maybe.
Don't think too hard. Just if you watch it, you watch it. You can even scrub through it. So
I struggle.
You'll get the most about the end.
You know what I genuinely struggle with, and podcasters, thanks for taking this time for me to
what's up?
Share my struggles with you, is that I have a hard time with if I know that I am capable of better, meaning that I could just watch it on my tablet, and I'm like, no. We go downstairs, larger TV, 7.1. Wait, I don't know if I'm happy with the color matching.
You have to watch it that way?
You kill
all the joy out of it.
I'll suck the fun right out of this room.
No, don't bother with that movie. Just watch it on your phone.
You, sir, are wasting your time.
Don't do it. You can even watch it at a lower quality if you want.
I hear you talking.
It's not worth more than that.
You're not lying right now. You are not lying.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Well, now that we know that's the problem, please do not let that stop you. I mean, it's worth watching, but it's not amazing.
It's not worth that. You're right.
It won't change anything.
Right. I know that you're right. So, where were we? Oh,
what's in this podcast?
Today, you're going to hear, wait, I got to open it up. Taking naps. Someone who has Elon Musk's old phone number, the college admissions scandal, which I could not talk about. The floor is lava.
A new Netflix show.
Some good news.
Oh, this really
some
bugs
bad
me.
News about some good news.
You could have just left the channel, just be there. You don't have to go sell out.
You need the brand.
That's what he did.
Frosted Flakes, Solitaire. Listen to Nikki not understand what I'm saying about Solitaire.
Did anybody else?
I thought I made it plain. I thought it was clear.
No, I thought it was a big thing today.
Well, it is what it is. And then, yelling and troubleshooting and returning things. In America.
Also, we check in with Steven from Anchor and Braille, also from Anberlin. So we catch up with him. Super great guy. Super fun interview. Hopefully you enjoy listening to it.
And I think that's it.
Everybody have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and we will be back on Tuesday.
All right, bye.
Bye.
We've got an archive of everything stupid the Riot has ever said at your fingertips. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Well, we've finally done it.
We made it even better.
We've finally done it, Nikki. We've gone ahead and we've brought a TV into the studio. We've hooked an Xbox up to it.
What size do you think the TV is? Because over here, it's just very big. It's very impressive.
I think that's a 50 or 55-inch TV.
Well, it is. It's stunning next to you. It's so close
right? to it. It really starts to seem big.
So basically, later this morning, we're also going to be doing a Riot after show. We are going to do our first. Well, this isn't our first ever gameplay together.
What it is, it's the first time we've done it this way.
Yeah.
So after the show yesterday, Nikki and Chris and I, we set some things up so we can actually do a, what do we call this, Riot after show from the studio.
Yeah.
So
playing Man-Eater, which is the new shark game that's out today.
It took, somewhat of an amount of effort, but I'm pretty excited about how well it turned out.
So it's almost like this is the perfect setup. You're at work. You've got a giant TV next to you. Your Xbox is allowed to be on.
Yeah. This is not like hide it so there's no memo.
No, this is like, hey, I can.
So we're doing okay for ourselves.
So our after show will be later. If you want to be ready for that, if you follow us on RadioU or RadioU Riot, both Facebook pages, what you want to do is follow the page and then get notifications as well. Turn those on. So when we go and do Maneater later, you can watch us play and hang out with us.
Yes, indeed. So it's something we can really look forward to.
It's work. It's hard, but we're just trying to do the best work that we can.
Nikki, that's what it's all about.
It is.
That's what it's about, you giving your all.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing right now as we download the Shark game.
Only thing more is if we brought in food for it. That'd be the only next level above what we're doing this today.
I told Nikki, I feel like the only thing that's missing for this to be exactly what you guys think it is the Coke Freestyle machine.
Yeah, in the corner.
And then it's just like, yep, I knew it. I knew it.
I knew this is what the studio was like. Absolutely.
I knew that's what they were doing in there.
Well, again, follow us on Facebook so you can hang out with us when we check in with Steven from Anchor Braille and Anberlin. He'll be on with us a little bit later, and then we'll head out later and do our after show.
Yes, indeed. So here... Well, and by head out later, we mean...
We'll move the TV over to the other side.
We're going to turn from this side to the other side.
It'll be fine.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Something that has snuck by in the news that I've had my eyes on the entire time, just to be honest. I don't know why. I think it might be because I went to college and I paid college loans and et cetera, and it's been a real interesting peeling back of the curtain kind of thing. And that's the college admissions scandal, where a bunch of very wealthy parents paid various people to get their students into colleges.
Yeah.
I've especially been amazed by the Laughlins, and that's because not necessarily for just the reasons you think. Lori Loughlin was Aunt Becky on Full House, and Fuller House, and whatever else. And she's on every Hallmark movie ever.
Every Hallmark movie and TV show up until that point.
Right. So there's that.
Yeah.
Right? But the other thing about it...
And her husband's a designer.
The thing that fascinated me was that her one daughter, who was, admitted quasi-illegally to USC or wherever, she had a whole deal set up for her. So it's not... It was almost like college wasn't even really a thing. She was there to be a college influencer and maybe take some classes. Amazon, she was like, her entire room was a big Amazon ad and et cetera. And I'm just fascinated by it. Like, parents pay to get you in. You're getting paid to be there. And in the meantime, I'm still paying college loans. What?
What is wrong with this?
What is going on? That's not true. I paid off my loans. But that being said, yesterday, Lori Loughlin and her husband accepted a plea deal. Mm-hmm. They pled guilty to... I don't know what exactly. Bribery, something.
They had been looking at, allegedly, this is a big number, 40 years in jail.
40 years.
Compared to some of the other parents who got in trouble for what I feel like is similar stuff, a lot of them got a couple of years.
Well, but a lot of them took the plea deals. Mm-hmm. And so they wouldn't have to go through the court process and potentially face that. And I'll tell you, as I have friends who have been to prison and have accepted plea deals, and they say when you're really staring down the possibility of 40 years in prison,
you'll take the lower number.
You'll take just about anything.
Well, they fought this one. I mean, this was years ago, wasn't it?
Last year.
Well, no, it has to be longer than that.
No,
really?
Last year. Maybe
like
this year. I don't know.
No,
this year,
it wasn't this year.
This year, I've lived 10 years.
It's been so long.
This has been a dog years kind of year.
So what is the number? She gets
2 months.
2 months, and then he gets, is it 5 months?
I think so. But you know what? They're not going.
They'll go in and they'll go out.
They'll go in, spend the day in an Amazon-sponsored jail cell.
And it's not even the jail you would go to.
Right.
It's not that jail.
No, it's not. And
they're not in the normal population. They're in the special one. So,
and they'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what? We don't want them to get the corona.
So then they get out. It's still unfair.
Yeah. Tonight on the Hallmark Channel.
Well, she can probably come back and do a few more movies after that.
Yep, she sure can.
So at least that shows that it's wrapping up.
Good for them, Nikki.
Great.
Only 2 months in jail. Good for them that they won't serve.
And again, it's not the jail you would find yourself in.
No.
It's another one.
Absolutely
we don't even know
not.
where this jail is.
Have you guys ever been to a Holiday Inn Express? When you're that rich, it feels like prison.
That is the jail?
That's where they're going. Can you believe it? They only have an outside pool. And it's not even temperature controlled. This is how.
2 months of that.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU. RadioU.
Her name is Lindsay Tucker. She's 25. She's a skincare consultant. And she got a new cell phone, which, strangely enough, is the old cell phone number of Elon Musk.
Oh, wow. Really? Like the old phone or just the number?
So, no, it's the number.
Oh.
So, like, he chucked the number, but blah, blah, blah. What I love is that she said that she asked her mom, she's like, I keep getting calls for this guy, Elon Musk. Who is that?
She had to look it up.
She had no idea who he was.
Is she keeping the number?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so fun.
She said...
Annoying if, you try to use it for work or something, but fun if it was just a fun thing. Fun phone.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She said, she hasn't given what I feel like is a lot of great examples, but like she says that she's getting a lot of really strange text messages. John Lasseter, former Walt Disney executive, texted him, her, about the Tesla he just bought, saying about how much he loves the new car.
Yeah.
So, like, she's got text messages from John Lasseter. That's amazing. Dude, you know what? You should start, this would be amazing. She should start texting these people back as Elon Musk, setting up deals.
Well, now that would go into the criminal territory, wouldn't it? Isn't that fraud?
Well, you don't say, at no point do you say that you are Elon Musk. These people are texting you. There's no fraud involved here.
I don't know. If you try to play it off like you're him, then there might be problems.
No, you just text back real honestly like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you like Tesla. Me too.
Me too.
Stuff like that.
Does she say how many calls or like text messages she gets each day? Is it overwhelming or is it more about she just hears from famous people who are trying to get back in touch with them?
Oh my gosh. She doesn't give a number, but she does say when I see his name in the news, I'm like, okay, I better find out what he said because chances are people are going to start texting me about it.
Someone's going to ask her. That's fun.
To those who think Musk is ignoring them, I'm sorry, she says. Sometimes I don't respond if I'm having a rough day. So if you didn't get a response, it's probably me, not him.
Well,
don't feel too bad.
He did the ultimate ignore. He completely changed his phone number.
Hey, man, been there, done that. I got a, I don't know how this happened, but somehow I actually do. It's complicated, but basically in an apartment I lived in, so my number was like attached to that apartment. So some people moved into that apartment.
By some mistake, yeah.
And so they didn't pay their bills ever. And as a result, I just got a non-stop stream of calls and text messages from people saying, pay your bills. And I'm like, look, that's not them.
And of course, when you say that, they don't believe you.
They never believe you. And so I finally was like, I have to change my number.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have this.
It's a great idea to do it just to start over again.
Just get a fresh
start.
I've had the same number for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since then, actually, when I made that change, I've stuck to that.
But if you get all that annoying stuff and you're like, well, just, start something new. Start a new number.
Start a new life.
You can do that. You have the freedom to do that.
Start a new life.
Unless then you get someone's famous, their old number, and then it just never ends.
I don't know. At that point, I would be like, I'm hanging on to this number, but I also have to get my own new number so that my friends and family can text me, not just his friends and family.
Well, Jared texted a good point. She needs to write him and have him give his new number so that she can forward him all the messages. That could be fun. Try to get a hold of him on Twitter. He's always there.
That sounds like some kind of that's a movie for sure. And she ends up, we have to make it a feel-good movie. So, like, this is a couple years later, like, his wife has left him, and the only person he can talk to is this girl that has his number.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the right feel for the story. Maybe she just needs a job, and then she ends up creating a supercar or something like that.
She has the answer for the thing that he's always wanted.
Well, the perfect car.
He marries his son. She marries his son.
Okay,
how about that? Then she meets his son. And she's like, oh, he's so dreamy.
Well, I don't remember. He just had a child. like last week, but I don't remember if it was a boy or a girl. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's got like older kids too.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I mean, Nikki, I don't want you being all, against intergenerational romance, because what a world we live in where it's okay for an older man to date a younger woman, but it's not okay for an older woman to date a younger man.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm embarrassed for all of us.
We've lost the direction of the story that we were talking about. That's fine.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on Radio U.
So the question that I have been heard thrown around is like, hey, what would it take to get you back to the movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would make you want to go back to the movies? I found it. I have. Because last night, actually, it debuted in Fortnite. I did not catch it last night. I've seen it this morning. Warner Brothers unveiled the trailer for Tenet.
Tenet?
T-E-N-E-T.
The Christopher
That's
Nolan
the new
one?
Christopher Nolan movie. It looks glorious.
And it's supposed to be in theaters.
Theaters only.
So they're not
July 17th.
They're not doing any video on demand.
No. That's going to be in the movie theater.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago I read that there's about 200 or so movie theaters open in the country.
Right.
So you have states that they are still open and there.
Yeah.
They do usually temperature checks when you go in and distancing between seats.
Fine. Whatever.
Is that all it takes?
Fine. Yeah.
Are you more likely to want to go to the movie theater or to the gym?
I'll tell you
And what would be the difference between the two?
I'll tell you right now. I feel like you could go to the movie theater and it is I don't even like using the word safe because it implies that everywhere else is unsafe when in reality, things haven't changed that much. It's a whole thing, whatever. But if you go to a movie theater, you could conceivably sit there and watch a movie, whatever. You go to the gym, you are really interacting with people and their bodily fluids. You're taking huge gasping breaths. I mean, like you really are working at it. And that to me, though, let's be clear. I've always felt that way about the gym. I've always known that going to the gym is absolutely a great way for me to get sick.
People go when they're not supposed to.
Yeah, they go when they're sick. People don't always wipe things down. And plus just the idea of a lot of bacteria gets passed back and forth just through you exhaling. You don't see anything when you exhale, but imagine what your breath looks like on a cold day or in a cold environment. You're doing that all the time. And so somebody just happens to, I don't know, breathe out heavily and they're in the first stages of a cold. They put that on a weight that I then pick up. And even though I washed my hands, I accidentally touched my face because I was sweating and then boom, I got a cold. Like that's not just a COVID thing. That's an all the time thing.
So what if your state asked you to wear a mask while you were watching a movie?
That's a tough one. I wouldn't be that excited about it for two reasons. One, I wear glasses, which, you know what, maybe I should just go back to contacts and forget it. But I have glasses and
they would just fog up.
Yeah, you have to like set them. If you do it right, if you pull your mask farther back on your nose and then set your glasses forward a little bit, it does get rid of the fogging thing. You got to get them set just right. But I don't really want to wear a mask the whole time I watch a movie. But if you told me, all right, you can see the new Christopher Nolan movie, but you have to wear a mask, I'd wear it.
You would?
I would. And I'll just tell you, honestly, I'm just about ready to go back to the gym. Like, regardless, I'm getting to the point because the nice thing about Nikki and I, and this is not fair to everyone else, is because of the odd hours we work, you and I could hit the gym and the movie theater at odd and off times.
Where it wouldn't be so crowded.
Where it would not be so crowded.
If we got up and just went like 20 minutes earlier to the gym, there's like no one there.
Literally. The guy, I don't even know if people work there then.
Well, at least ours, like they'll have contactless entry, like you no longer check in with anybody and it'll be different. But yeah, I was curious if you would favor going to the movies or to the gym with the post-virus stuff.
Again, I hate to use the word safe, but it feels safer to me to go to the movies. But as I said...
So the one we would go to? I don't know. I'm looking forward to being cleaner.
Nikki, well, we have to be the first people in the door. That's all I know.
It gets messed up again.
We'll be the first people there.
Oh,
and then after that, I don't know.
They've had plenty of time to really fix it up.
They are not using that time to clean if we're talking about the same place that I know we are. No.
They must have. If they please use that time wisely.
No. It's not happening.
Then I don't want to go after 2 months of it being closed up.
Well, yeah, that's right. You're right.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
It is the Riot on Radio U.
How exciting.
Dude, I am excited. It's been quite a while since we talked to Steven from Anchor Braille / Anberlin, and we're getting to, he may not remember the last time that we talked, but I do.
Oh, yeah.
But he talks to a lot of people.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very good, guys. How are you?
We're doing good.
Good. Steven, since the last time I talked to you, Anberlin has parted ways, gotten back together. There's been Anchor and Braille. You've worked at a radio station. I've seen you do so many things via Twitter that it blows my mind.
He stays busy.
I try my best, man. Once you get the creative juices flowing in life, you just keep going.
That's right.
You know, so it's fun.
It's a New Music Friday, and we'll get to that. But I want to ask, how was your time in radio? Because there for a while, you went from being in a band to being a radio guy. What was that like?
So I worked at Calvary in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was an incredible opportunity to work with Pastor Skip Heitzig and Nate Heitzig, and it was a lot of fun. Well, they have a radio station called Star 88. So I was worship director there for the church, but I don't know why, but they would let me on the radio. And so I would just go in there and do their question and answer hour. There was a little while where I was doing a Saturday countdown. It was just for fun because I had never sat on the other side of the desk, programming and stuff like that. So I never got a paycheck, sadly. I should build them now. But it was a lot of fun, man. What was great is that I couldn't get fired because I was a volunteer. So
that's the best.
A lot of fun with that,
Yeah.
A lot of artistic license, if you will.
And I'll just tell you that if you ever get to a place where you're paid to do radio, the line between a paycheck and being a volunteer is a thin line.
There's not a big difference. It's
not that different.
You do a lot like being in a band. You do it for the love of the art of what you do. So it's never usually about a paycheck with anything in the arts and entertainment industry.
So true. It's so true. So, Steven, you've got a brand new Anchor and Braille album out today. Why go back and start doing music with Anchor and Braille?
Like I just mentioned, the creativity process, it just never stops. You have to keep it going. You have to kind of exercise it like a muscle. And I love it. I'm passionate about it. So for me, I constantly songwrite. Well, I was up at songwriting with a friend up in Nashville, Tennessee. His name is Chad Carruthers. And I had the really unique opportunity just to sit down and write some worship songs. Well, during it, he was like, dude, you should check out some stuff that I'm writing on the side. And I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my gosh, can we start collaborating? I was just so excited that from that moment, I was like, I'm going to do another Anchor and Braille record just because I wanted an artistic outlet. I wanted something to push out there. And much like DJing at a radio station, there's not a lot of money in it.
Sure.
But it's for the passion. You do it for the passion, and it's just a lot of fun. So that's kind of the reason the rationale behind the record Tension.
Well, Tension is out today, and if you keep listening to Radio U all day today, you can have a chance to win a free copy of Tension today from Anchor and Braille.
So, Steven, you say that radio didn't pay the bills and Anchor and Braille's not paying the bills. What are you doing to pay the bills while you're being so creative?
Maybe when all of them combine together,
maybe
helps.
It's just enough?
Yeah.
If you go to Craigslist and type in pick up my trash for me, then that's me. That just call my 1-900 number and I come. No, I'm just kidding. That's probably more profitable. I am a pastor. I'm a pastor here at Grace Family Church in South Tampa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And so I've been a pastor for about 5 years now, but this role is very different for me in that I'm kind of the overseeing pastor and get to speak. And it's been awesome, man. It's been incredible.
You should do a sermon where you just sing the whole sermon. One Sunday morning, That'd be great.
So I did see.
My congregation has very little. They don't know much about my past. So 90% of them would be so confused. Wait, what?
Why is he doing that?
That's wild, man. That is wild. So you also started a podcast, right?
I did. It's a Reactive Media. I really am excited about technology. It's just fun. It's kind of one of those things like, if I'm scrolling through Reddit or reading, a magazine or something, I see something about like Tesla or AI. It's just always so, cool because my entire career I've had to use technology from Pro Tools to, whether it's, old school GPS trying to get the van to a location. I've always been intrigued about what's next and stuff like that. So this podcast is very much centered around innovation, and whether it's leadership or media or recording, I just love it all. So we just interview people from different facets of the industry who are on the cutting edge of whatever they do.
Okay, so we're talking to Stephen from Anchor Braille, Anberlin, and the Reactive Media podcast, and
everything
this guy
else.
is prolific. Now it's a New Music Friday for Anchor and Braille. We've got chances for you to win the album Tension. Stephen, the album's called Tension. There's an enormous amount of tension in the world right now. Is it about any one particular tension or all of it? Where's the album at?
The irony is not lost. I mean, the simple fact is the single is called Dangerous and the album is called Tension. And I had no clue any of this was going to happen. So it's, I think that the irony exists in the fact that I was kind of writing the whole, the title and everything like that in a tongue-in-cheek manner of just saying, because it's a very carefree record. It's very lighthearted. When I envisioned people listening to it, I thought like dancing in their room by themselves or goofing off with a friend, and so what better time to come out with a record of this nature than right now? So hopefully for everybody out there who listens to it, it's just a deep breath. It's just a way of just kind of just letting go of all the pressures and tensions of the day, whether that's, having to, stay indoors for the majority of your life right now, or losing your job or something even more serious. So hopefully this gives everyone a little bit of reprieve of just kind of, okay, I want to check this album out and just breathe a little deeper.
I think we all realize music can help that, can be that breath of fresh air, that relief, that song that kind of hits you that right moment. So yeah, absolutely. That's it's a help for people nowadays.
It is. Now, what are you going to do? You're, stay at home, quarantine, whatever is happening right now. Like, what do you do when you release an album? How do you celebrate that? In nothing.
In this day.
I'm going to find out. I'm gonna. I think the celebration happens when the kids go to bed and my wife and I can just sit on the couch. That's it. That's the celebration there. No, I mean, usually you make a big deal out of it. It's so much fun. But I think tonight, I would like to jump online and just talk to fans and get their perspective. Also, Sunday, Anberlin's going to be playing an acoustic show. And so, online, of course. And so we practice all, we were practicing all day today. So tonight, maybe I'll celebrate with them, hang out with them. We'll all just get some high fives. Then I'll go and chill with the wife.
So when you say that you guys are playing online, are you guys going to be in the same room playing online, or are you in different places playing online?
Since we all live in the same town, we're going to be near each other. We're going to be in the same, obviously, very much separated on the stage for social distancing purposes. And hopefully because they'll look better, hopefully they all wear masks. But I'm just kidding. No offense, guys. It's true. No, we'll just be in the same room and just kind of do our best to, we have a friend who owns a venue. And so we figured out a way to keep apart from each other, but still be able to vibe out and rock out.
So that'll be this Sunday on the Anberlin Facebook page?
Yeah, it'll be all, just you can go to Anberlin.com or AnberlinMerch.com and you get all the information right there. So we're just going to be, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We were set to do an entire, and we were going to come to Ohio, no joke. We were going to be set to do a month-long tour in July. And unfortunately that got canceled. But so we're just trying to give, trying to give people out there like, hey, come hang out with us for a minute. And, hopefully this kind of helps until we can get back out there and meet people face to face.
Well, I think I speak for everybody. Nikki and I, of course, have been Anberlin fans forever. And so I am planning on checking that out.
That'll be a lot of fun
this weekend, and checking out the new album. Now, we've got chances to snag the brand new Anchor and Braille album all day today.
Yep. Be listening all day for your chance to win a download, a free copy of Tension from Anchor and Braille today for New Music Friday.
All right. Well, Stephen, anything else that we should know about you and your world before we say goodbye?
Well, listen, I just want to say thanks to RadioU. You guys have been huge supporters, quote unquote, for a long time now. I remember our first video came out, Ready Fuels, and RadioU did a whole sketch about how
We did.
It was, and how you could just reenact the entire video
with a screensaver.
And so screensaver, it didn't hurt. At the time, it didn't hurt. I literally have no hard feelings that I've even forgotten about.
No, of course, it seems like you have.
It's good. It's good.
No resentment. Me resentful? Come on.
Well, Stephen, the good thing is we've supported in other positive ways, so it wasn't just that.
Hey, let me tell you what. I have told many people this across the years, and it's true. There is, in reality, no higher form of praise than to parody. Like, someone that's worthy of parody is someone that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Keep telling yourself that. That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Hey, listen, there's.
You know what? We were just as disappointed as everyone else. So real fast, the Ready Fuel story. When the director talked me into it, he was telling me like explosions, like and I'm thinking World War II grenades going off and nuclear, and then we get it. It's like pew 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 pew, and I was like, oh my god! And I literally, no joke, I told the record label, no, that's funny. This is a good joke. Where's the real one? That's how bad that was for us. We tried to shut it down, but back in that day, we didn't have a lot of money, so they're like, listen, it's either put this out or you don't get a video at all. We were a brand new band. We had no say in it, and we wanted to never let that see the light of day. But the Tooth and Nail Records was like, no, we're going to put it out. I was just like, dear Lord.
Hey, I can't believe, I'm real talk here. I can't believe you remember it. Two, I didn't actually think the video was that bad. We just thought it was a great bit for us. And three,
the early parts of technology for that.
You compare that to like Skillet's Alien Youth, you guys did just fine.
For back in the day.
Like,
we were on a platform that flew away at the end. You cannot get worse than that. So
you can. I've seen worse videos.
Well, before we name anybody else, and you hurt other people's feelings.
I'm just telling you.
There could be worse.
John Cooper is not losing sleep over that.
He's
okay.
Fine.
So, all right. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
So if you've listened to The Riot for very long, you have no doubt heard me say something along the lines of, I keep asking Jesus to show me how to live. See, in a relationship with God, we think that's it. A lot of people do, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people think it's about a religious thing. Like, I'll go to church like on a day during a week, head into a building, some guy will say some words and I'll leave and like I did it. But do you know that God's actually more interested in you day to day, like Friday morning, Tuesday afternoon? Like, God wants to be with you wherever you are all day, every day during the week. And the thing that I'm thinking about headed into Memorial Day weekend is that he even cares about our downtime. Now, again, a lot of people will take that and mean, oh, you shouldn't take time off. You should be down at the soup kitchen or whatever. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's okay to go and serve and do. Like, it's great. Help your community. But God loves you enough that he actually wants you to take a break. Now, think about that. To me, I feel like that's the opposite of, even as long as I've known God, I feel like that's the opposite of who God is. I'm like, I imagine Jesus being like, bro, good day, but you could have done so much more. There's so much more you could have done. Why didn't you work a little bit harder? And to you, that's not who Jesus is. In fact, it's really funny. If you check out like his time, read his story, like they record him taking naps. He's like, I took a nap.
Really?
Yeah. It's in there.
We got to take care of yourself to then be able to help and take others.
So I want you to know that Jesus loves you the person, and he cares about your downtime too. So this weekend, I want you to know that God wants you to be able to rest too. I mean, does it mean you get 5 days off on pony rides? Maybe not. But you know what's funny? I have found that if I let Jesus show me how to live, he will actually show me that, like, sometimes my idea of getting a break doesn't give me a break at all. Like, he's actually showed me how to take a real break, to actually relax and actually get some rest. And I'm even asking him for this weekend. I'm like, God, I'm wanting to fill it up with nonsense. Help me to take a real break. Look, if you don't have a relationship with God, you probably don't know him the way you should. He is an amazing friend who loves and cares about you. Those are not empty words. They're real. It's real. Look, if you want to, right now, just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to show me how to live. I want you to show me how to rest. And you know what? God's going to help you, believe it or not, enjoy your weekend.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Games and Netflix, Nikki. Netflix has just announced that they're putting a new game show on, and you know what? I'm totally interested in it. Did you ever play, when you were a kid, The Floor is Lava?
Yeah, I mean, I know what it is.
Did you play it?
Not too often.
You did? Are you
no.
serious? Oh, my gosh. Floor is Lava was so great.
Was it?
Yeah.
It just must not have been a thing with me and my friends.
Though I will tell you, as we got older, I had a certain friend of mine who his legs were so long, it was unfair to play. He could actually get from his bed upstairs all the way downstairs to the couch without touching the floor. Now, this did involve putting your feet on banisters. It was very unsafe. I'll just say it that way. But he could totally do it.
So what is this going to be?
This is going to be a game show. I've only seen a couple of screenshots of it, but apparently you have to climb around this set, and it's all...
And not fall into the lava?
Yeah, it's all suspended above real lava, and you die if you fall.
That's not true.
It's some kind of a red liquid, so you don't want to fall in.
It looks like if... what was that old ABC show? I used to love it. Wipeout. Do you remember Wipeout?
Yes.
It looks like if they took Wipeout and put you above a pool of slime.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing about it is that Wipeout should, buy this idea. I should have been, wanted to watch that. I had no interest. But for some reason, the fact that they've translated it to lava,
now
I'm really interested.
Great. So it'll be June 19th that the Netflix game show Floor is Lava will be out.
I'll watch that. You know what I feel like has happened? I feel like the time that you and I are spending on Reddit, not together, but in different places, but sending each other things, watching people do really dumb things has opened me up to the idea of a game show.
Basically, that right there, watching people do dumb things has filled up so much of the stay-at-home time.
Yes.
That a game show just sounds perfect.
I spend time on Reddit. I don't regret it.
So basically, they have to navigate the floor, the contest space for it.
Right.
And there'll be a way to win at the end for the team members that make it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm interested. June 19th is when it's coming. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to watch a game show on Netflix.
Say it all. I can't believe I'm going to watch the game show Floor is Lava on Netflix.
That doesn't knock it down a notch for me.
Just feels weird.
I'm in.
And the picture, I'm assuming this is from it, but it's basically this girl with her arms outstretched crying why? Because she's been in the lava.
That might be what's selling it for me.
Pretty much.
That might be what's selling it for me.
She's fallen off. She's in the lava.
Yeah. So, you know what? Sign me up. I'm in. At least for now. Of course, you guys know the deal. I talk about how much I want to watch something and then never watch it. That's the plan.
We'll set a reminder.
Or
Netflix will remind you.
Don't you worry.
The Riot Radio U.
You know, it shouldn't disappoint me, but for some reason it just kind of does. And I do know why. Just don't know if I want to go into it. The Some Good News Network.
It is disappointing what's happened.
John Krasinski, if you didn't know, launched a YouTube channel with that during the COVID crisis, behind the COVID curtain.
Yeah, he did an office, where you got to see all the office people. He did a graduation party, which was really nice for everybody. He did a prom thing. So he gathered a lot of followers, and people really enjoyed his take on actually showing good news.
And so it was really fun because it just felt like in the middle of everything that we were doing, it was like, oh, this is just nice.
It felt organic and nice and sincere. Sincere is the word I want to use.
There was a sincerity to it. And then you find out, John Krasinski comes out and he's like, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. And blah,
I think
blah, blah.
Today's episode was supposed to be the last, or was it last week? But
so then you find out why they're not doing it anymore. It did so well that there was an all-out bidding war between companies to buy it, and he sold it to CBS.
It really feels like it's ending on a sour note because of it. But basically, Viacom CBS bought it. It's not going to be him hosting it.
No.
But it's going to turn into something else that'll launch. It's not necessarily a new name, but it'll have just a new feel to it. And that'll be launching soon.
And I get it. And I don't begrudge. Listen, I understand. People make money. People need money.
They say it's a lot of money.
And he started something that I am sure he didn't start it thinking, ooh, I'm going to sell it. But I'll bet he was getting to a point where he was like, you know what? I am done with this because I'm going to go back to work and all these people want to buy it. I'm going to sell it. I don't blame him for any of that.
But he's not done with it. He's still going to be... A part of it is just changed. He'll have a name only, probably.
He'll be an executive producer on it, which means he'll watch it one time. That's it.
I liked it because it felt just like him. Everybody else was stuck in their house, and he was too. Now it feels like it's kind of like what was the other one? Carpool Karaoke. Do you remember that?
Yep.
So that was the one guy who was late night, and then I think Apple bought it for there, and then it morphed into. Well, now here's people you don't recognize. Just get anybody in the cars.
Right.
It kind of loses some of the original magic with it.
Yep. And that's where it's at. He sold it to CBS. Let me guess. It's available on Netflix everywhere, but only CBS All Access in the United States.
Except here. It'll be there. But yeah, they haven't said any other further details. But the YouTube channel will be ending. He's not hosting the new one, but it's ending because he sold it.
Well, good for him, I guess. Again, I understand the harsh realities of the way the world works, but there was just this brief moment where the little kid in me was like, it's so nice that people are so nice.
I just want to tell him, it doesn't feel very, very nice anymore. And that's because of, now it's part of the machine. And I thought we were not doing that with this.
But that's how it works. Anything that's not a part of the machine that's successful, the machine eats it.
Eventually, it does.
The machine even creates the counter machine so you can hate the machine.
I unsubscribed. That'll do it.
That'll teach him. I showed him.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, Chocolate Lucky Charms
is the best.
They have an unassailable fortress from which they distribute their marshmallows every morning.
Well, before we talk cereal, congratulations to Jeff in Michigan. He was texter number 7 with the word anchor when he heard Steven from Anchor Braille. The new album for New Music Friday that you have a chance to win a download of is Tension. So be listening for your chance to win all day long.
So from this fortress of... marshmallows and chocolate. Everybody still likes to take a swipe.
Every so often.
They think they have what it takes.
That's
an
interesting idea.
So here's the idea. What company is this? I can't tell.
Kellogg's.
All right. They want to do a little virtual mash. It's not virtual. It's just a mashup. They want to do a mashup in which you get Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops in the same bowl.
I think it's like the first time a mashup for cereal, at least for them, has happened.
Sure.
So if you like Frosted Flakes and if you like Fruit Loops and you couldn't mix them yourself, now you have the box to do it.
Frosted Flakes are okay.
Yeah.
You have to eat them so fast that it's almost impractical.
Well, maybe the Fruit Loops will slow it down now.
Maybe they will. Fruit Loops, though, I'll have to say, I'll eat a Fruit Loop. I mean, I'm not above it.
That's like when you're at a hotel and they have the free breakfast.
I'm still looking for
and it's the
Lucky
cereal
Charms.
bar.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Fruit Loops. That's the kids' choice that we eat when we're there.
She's actually right. You get maybe Honey Nut Oats, a Raisin Bran, and Fruit Loops.
And a waffle the shape of whatever state you're in.
If you're lucky.
And maybe an old omelet thing.
She's telling the truth, guys.
So this will be a limited mashup for Kellogg's, and that'll be out starting next month.
Where are you at on this? What do you think?
I'm not as much into cereal. I mean, I think it'd be fun if we tried it, but we can already try it. So
that's the hard part.
Maybe the love is in the mixture ratio, and we might not get it right. But
the hard part is that we can already try it.
Andy just texted, said, Obi, I want Fruit Loops with Lucky Charms.
I mean, Andy, I appreciate where you're coming from. I do, but
But no, Tom said could be worse. Could be Fruit Loops mixed with grape nuts.
I don't know if I've ever had grape nuts before.
I don't know either.
Like,
I know what they are, but I guess we just never went with those.
I mean, I'll tell you, like when I'm in the cereal aisle, I'm walking right past that.
I only like Cookie Crisp. And that's not an everyday cereal, so that's why we don't have it all the time.
Chocolate Lucky Charms is just a weekend cereal for me, which is sad that I'm at a point in my life where I have weekend cereal again. But
so your weekend cereal with your big cup of coffee.
And I can only get it from Walmart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can't get...
Can you get it on Amazon or...
Well, I mean, it's somebody reselling you boxes from Walmart. I mean, the only place I can find it, and Walmart only sells it, and I appreciate that they know their audience. It's only available in a family size. And I'm just like...
Also known as a normal size now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's right. They know that there's no way a little box is going to satisfy this big hunger. Thank you, Walmart.
You need the big box.
It's real.
So if you're interested, again, later next month will be the first mashup cereal from Kellogg's for Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes.
Or as Nikki said, you just buy a box of each and woo, you just cut to the front of the line.
DIY. One box here, one box there. You pour it in at the same time, mix it up, and have fun this weekend.
Follow us for more recipes.
I think they just want you to buy it just for the fun.
Yeah.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, there are a lot of things out there celebrating anniversaries over the last, like, this month. Mm-hmm. It's because it's things that happened in 1980. Well, in this case, it's something that happened in 1990.
What was it?
May of 1990, Microsoft changed the world.
What'd they do?
They released Solitaire.
They did?
Yep.
They're the creators of Solitaire? Or?
Oh, no. Their version of Solitaire.
Okay. I was like, wasn't that a card game?
It is a card game, and I want you to know that there have been many times that even with all the more complicated options, play a little Solitaire. Or, you're somewhere and that's the only thing that they have installed because they forgot to not tell Windows to install it. So you go ahead and... Well,
what are they doing?
Well, they're celebrating by trying to set a world record for the most games completed in a single day. So they are asking, if you have got Windows of some kind installed, would you please play Solitaire today?
Today, and then are you supposed to count how many games, or will it automatically do it?
I'm assuming that it will count it for you and submit
then
it.
We could just lie.
So...
Well, the day's already started. I should have started earlier this morning.
Well, you just jump in and get one in. So Microsoft Windows 3.0 is what was released, and it came with Solitaire. And they say it was the first digital version of Solitaire. So, of course, you can play with your cards whenever you want, but this was the first time you played with a computer.
Oh. What do we get for it? I know we have to do things to get things, but
no, you don't
I
get
don't
anything.
Want to play Solitaire all day.
Okay, well, don't.
They have to do something.
Nobody's making you.
They shouldn't even ask me.
You ain't got a gun to your head.
Listen, it's a holiday weekend, all right? I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do a solitary thing.
Okay, you know what? Can we just wind the clock back a little bit?
We're not in, by the way, on Monday. Just a heads up.
Do you remember how you used to play Uno?
No, I played Uno a few times on Xbox.
Right. Do you remember how you would lay in the recliner and just hit the A button because it would just choose the card for you?
That's not a game you should make into an actual video game. It's like, here, button, button, button. What can it do?
Do you know that with Solitaire, you can just double tap the card and if it will go somewhere? So, Nikki, imagine you laying there with your touchpad, just double clicking.
All day.
It doesn't. You could just do it one time. They're just asking for one time.
No, they say they want to.
They do?
They want to see how many games you can play. I heard what they said.
They're trying to get everybody to contribute. So even if you just take time and play one game of Solitaire.
I only have Windows here, so what?
We'll play right there.
It's work time. I'm going to play Maneater in a minute. So I already have a video game I got to play today.
Yeah, it's tough all over.
I can't stand this much work.
The pressure is killing me.
It's too much.
It's killing us.
Like, what do you expect out of us? We can't play all these video games.
I'll tell you, man, it's tough all over, right? I hear you. I hear you. I really do.
Well, if you're like, I'd love to do that, then today they're just wanting you to play as many games as possible.
They just want you to play one game of...
That's not what they said. They want you to
They're trying to set a record. They're
want to
asking
set a
you
record.
to play a game so that you contribute to the record.
Oh, it counts? I thought you had to play all day, as many games as possible, and your number counts towards that. Like, you're making the record.
No, they want the most people, the most games.
That's not as bad then.
Well, at least I see why you're so upset.
I know. I'm sitting here like, why do I want to play solitaire all day?
That's what I couldn't understand, why you keep saying that. I'm like, look, you just play a game. Just one time.
I thought we had to set the
I don't
record.
have time for this.
I still don't want to.
And that's fine. It's fine. You don't have to.
Good.
Nobody's mad at you. I'm a little mad at you, but like not like really
That's
mad.
normal.
Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Nikki, I want to talk. We've probably had this discussion before, but I want to run something past you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you feel about buying something knowing that you might return it?
Like you might return it?
Not that you're buying it like, hey, I'm returning this for sure, but you're buying it and you're like, I'm actually going to try it out, and if I don't like it, I'm bringing it back.
Talking like TV Super Bowl time, or
No,
more
no.
honest than that?
No, a little more honest than that.
I don't think I've ever really done that. I usually buy things just like I expect it to be what I wanted or work, and then I'm super disappointed when it doesn't, and I have to return it.
Oh, okay. So I'm just thinking in terms of, I have some business regarding computer stuff today.
Yeah.
And there's a component that I'm looking at. I'm like, you know what?
You want to give it a whirl?
If this works, I'm keeping it. But if I am not happy with how it works, it's going back. Does that
Doesn't
feel
seem bad.
It's within, I'll tell you, I read the return policy.
Yeah, you're fine
because
then.
I wanted to make sure, like, hey, they're okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says that you can return it for, within 14 days, you get a refund, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, it's not like I'm breaking their rules. But,
No,
it's like one past that where you're like, I don't like the idea of abusing somebody's policy.
Sure.
Just to get...
And it's awkward when you go in, at least when I return things and there's nothing wrong with it, technically.
Oh, sure.
It's just not what you wanted, or it's something wrong, but not for maybe someone else. And you have to be like, no, it's not working.
Oh, no, see, I'm
not going to lie.
I'm okay with telling them, like, hey, I don't
didn't
like
work
this.
out.
Well, like the return I have to do today, I'm just going to be like, listen, I'm not... Does it work? Does it not work? I don't know. It wasn't working for me, and I'm not troubleshooting it. I came here to buy something that works. I'm just going to go pick another thing off the shelf.
Something else already?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you're going to be known for that then if you don't watch it.
Do it. Come on. Bring it on.
Mark me in your system.
Put me down.
I'm a returner.
Sell me something that works, and I won't be back.
I think that's smarter, because then sometimes I see a lot of people online who will like try to sell things that I think they could have returned.
Oh,
and
sure.
it makes me feel like they stole it. When they're like, well, it just doesn't work for us, never used. And you're like, well, why don't you just return the thing?
What do you mean, never used?
Never used? Like, how's it not possible? Why don't you just take it back? So I think that's fine. Just take it back.
Shady McShaderson? Mm-hmm. Is that you out there? Is it you?
Because they always try to put a big story with it.
Yeah,
It's
that's how you always know it's stolen.
It sounds like that.
When someone has to build a narrative.
You're getting taken then.
I mean, if it's a short narrative, it's like if someone's like, bought it, don't use it, selling it. That I believe. My uncle back in the 1940s first encountered my great-grandfather on my other side. And you're like, okay.
Here we go.
Here it is.
No, I think you should be good. That's not dishonest.
Okay. Because I don't... Yeah, all right. Let's see. Ronnie says... Micro Center employees have encouraged me to do that. Well, Ronnie, that's where I'm going.
How did you know that's where he's going?
Oh, I said a computer component.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's the only place.
Well, I'll tell you what. I bought an i3 from Intel and this motherboard, and it's crap.
Is that your return papers?
Yes. And you know what? I'm mad about it.
Okay.
I'm tired of plugging crap in. I wanted it to work, and it was like, not working. And I was like, you know what? I'll show you. I will not give you any more attention. I will take you back.
We're turning the car back around, and you're going.
I'll show you. I'll rip that motherboard right out of that.
See, normally, like, if you and I go, most of us will just go buy a computer, like, already built, or a laptop, but Obi likes to build them, and that's caused the problem.
No. That hasn't caused a problem.
Okay, the thing caused the problem.
They caused the problem.
It's not on you.
I'm well within my rights as a consumer and as a citizen of this great country, Nikki, to build my own computer.
You're right.
And expect to have it work.
Yep. So go return that today.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Oh, God.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
What a world we live in where it's okay for an older man to date a younger woman.